The story behind that score is much more interesting. Let's get into it.
Where we take a stack of your sources, could be articles, research, maybe even your own notes, and really pull out the key insights. Basically a shortcut to getting up to speed.
Exactly. And today we're diving into a recent MLS match that had, well, pretty much everything. CF Montreal hosting Inter Miami CF.
Yeah, a lot of drama, some serious star power on display.
For sure. We've gone through a whole pile of match reports, player ratings, news analyses, the usual suspects. Sports Illustrated, SofaScore, Vavel, USA Today, ESPN, places like that.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack what really happened in this game. We'll hit the key moments, the players who really stood out, and what this result actually means for both teams moving forward in the season.
Because, you see a 4-1 scoreline for Miami, and it sounds pretty straightforward.
But it wasn't, was it?
Not at all.
Okay, so set the scene for us. When and where did this all go down?
All right, so it was Saturday, July 5th, 2025, Saputo Stadium in Montreal. Good crowd, too. Just under 20,000 fans there.
And for Miami, this was a return to MLS action, right, after a bit of a break.
A significant break, yeah. Their first MLS game in over a month. And importantly, it came just 6 days after they got knocked out of the FIFA Club World Cup.
Oof. Yeah, I remember that 4-0 loss to PSG. That must have stung.
Definitely. And it adds a layer here. Coach Javier Mascherano talked about it. He said the team needed to start thinking about the MLS again.
Makes sense. Hard to switch focus like that.
Yeah, he admitted it's never easy to get back into the competition after the Club World Cup. So you've got this backdrop of trying to mentally reset.
And how did that reset go? Did they come out flying?
Not quite. Actually, the complete opposite. It was a shocker of a start.
Oh.
CF Montreal scored, almost immediately. Second minute.
Second minute. Wow. Who scored?
Prince Owusu. And the reports, well, they point fingers. Sports Illustrated called it one of Messi's worst giveaways in his MLS tenure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Combined with what USA Today called some miscommunication at the back for Miami, you could see Messi was furious, threw his hands up over his head.
So a nightmare start for Miami.
Yeah.
But Owusu, he must have been thrilled. He got a good rating, didn't he?
He did, yeah. An 8.2 rating from SofaScore, which was actually Montreal's highest, shows his impact right from the get-go, even though they eventually lost.
Okay, so 1-0 down basically straight away. How did Miami react? Did they crumble or fight back?
They tried to fight back pretty quickly. I mean, Jordi Alba hit the post around the 15th minute.
Okay.
Messi actually missed the rebound on that one. And Montreal's keeper, Jonathan Sirah, he deserves a mention. He made some really key saves early on.
Again, too.
Stopped Tadeo Allende, denied Telasco Segovia, too. So Montreal wasn't just sitting back after that early goal. Sirah was sharp.
Right, so Montreal is showing they weren't just lucky, they were defending that lead well initially.
Exactly. But, with Miami's quality, you felt it was maybe only a matter of time. And, well, the tide started to turn.
When did the equalizer come?
It took until the 33rd minute. And, no surprise, Messi was involved in making it happen.
Of course. How?
He played a pass to Tadeo Allende, who just let fly from distance. Great strike, pass Sirah, 1-1.
Allende, okay. He had a good game overall, right?
Yeah, a really strong performance, got an 8.5 rating. That goal was crucial to settle Miami down.
And then things really swung their way.
Pretty quickly, yeah. Just 7 minutes later, 40th minute, Messi gets his goal.
Ah, there it is. Classic Messi move.
Sort of, yeah. He dribbled into the box from the right, cut onto his left foot, and fired it low into the far corner.
Nice. Who assisted?
Luis Suarez. Good link-up play there.
Yeah.
And that was actually Messi's 51st goal for Inter Miami.
51. Wow. So in the space of about 7 minutes, they go from 1-1 to leading 2-1 just before halftime.
Exactly. That must have completely changed the feeling in both locker rooms going into the break. Miami now firmly in control.
And did they keep that control in the second half?
Oh, yeah. They really put their foot down. It became pretty dominant.
How did they extend the lead?
60th minute, Telasco Segovia makes it 3-1. It was a right-footed shot from outside the area.
Another long-range effort.
Yeah, and it clipped the underside of the crossbar on its way in. Nice finish. Segovia also had a good game, rated 8.0.
Okay, so 3-1. Game pretty much done then.
You'd think so, but then just 2 minutes later, Messi happened again.
His second goal.
His second, yeah. And this one was special. Sources were calling it a stunning solo goal.
Solo. Tell me more.
He picked it up near midfield, just weaved past 4 Montreal defenders. It was described as a run right out of his days with FC Barcelona.
Wow, vintage Messi.
Totally, a vintage wonder goal. Then he smashed it high into the net. Just pure individual brilliance.
Incredible. So from that early mistake, he comes back with 2 goals, including that stunner. That really answers any questions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It basically sealed the game right there. 4-1 was the final score. A really decisive win after that shaky start.
And Messi got player of the match, I assume.
Yep, absolutely. Highest rating on the pitch, a 9.3. Just shows how influential he was in completely turning that game around after the early setback.
And you mentioned some other high ratings from Miami.
Yeah, Suarez got an 8.7, must have had a great game beyond the assist. Allende, 8.5. Segovia, 8.0. Even Busquets chipped in with a solid 7.4. It was a strong team performance, led by Messi.
But good to remember, Owusu for Montreal still got that 8.2 despite the loss.
Definitely. A bright spark for them on a tough day.
So what does this 4-1 win do for Miami in the bigger picture, in the standings?
It's pretty significant for the MLS Eastern Conference. They jumped up to 6th place. They've got 32 points now from 17 games.
Okay, 6 isn't bad, but the games played seems key there.
That's the crucial part. They have games in hand, potentially up to 4 games on some of the teams ahead of them.
So they're in a really strong position to climb even higher.
Exactly. Huge potential to push up the table if they can manage this busy schedule they've got coming up. For Montreal, though, it's tougher. They stay down in 15th with only 14 points from 21 games.
And what did Mascherano say after the match, reflecting on Messi's performance?
He was full of praise, as you'd expect. Said he's clearly someone different, a different player, and we're lucky to have him. Today he made the difference again.
It kind of highlights that reliance, though, doesn't it? Even with other good players, sometimes it just comes down to Messi magic.
It often does. It's the reality of having a player like him. It's a massive advantage, but yeah, you wonder about the dynamic sometimes.
Anything else interesting happen around the game?
Yeah, a nice little local touch. Lugan Stort, the NBA player for OKC Thunder, he's from Montreal. He's at the game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they even presented him with a personalized CF Montreal jersey. Nice bit of crossover appeal and hometown pride.
Love that. So looking ahead, you mentioned a busy schedule for Miami.
Insanely busy. This match kicked off a run of 7 games in just 25 days for them in July.
Wow, that's intense. That'll test their squad depth for sure.
No kidding. Recovery and rotation are going to be absolutely key for them.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway from our deep dive into this match?
I think it really shows Inter Miami's resilience, shaking off that Club World Cup disappointment, overcoming a really poor start in this game, and then just dominating, led by an absolutely brilliant vintage performance from Messi.
Turning that early error into a statement win, essentially.
Precisely. It demonstrated not just their quality, but their mental strength, too.
So here's something to think about then. With this impressive comeback win and those crucial games in hand, what does this sort of return to vengeance really mean for Miami's chances this MLS season?
And maybe on a deeper level, what does this game, that immediate setback followed by such a strong response from their star player, tells about how these elite teams and these incredible athletes handle adversity right in the moment.
Yeah, definitely something to mull over. It's often more than just the final score.